What's up, guys? It's another episode of Twisted Toast, and we got a special guest. It's our second guest we've ever had who can join us, and it wasn't afraid to do it. And it's Dr. Glenn Jaffe. And I don't. We'll come around back to who the hell you are. If people don't know, they should know who you are. But and we'll wait for Melissa's going to be jumping on. Or Melba's going to be jumping on. I'm not allowed to say her real name, but people know her real name. This is so stupid. Eventually, we're going to have to take the wigs off. Okay. Give me the
Wait. You're wearing a wig?
No, she wears wigs. She likes to wear wigs. Yeah. Like, give me the state of the union of the chiropractic political scene. What's working, what's not working, what's ahead of us, and where you're trying to lead the horses to water.
That's a big, can I curse on this?
Yeah, you can do it.
That is a big shit sandwich.
Okay.
And the best way to eat a shit sandwich is one bite at a time. Okay. And you're going to get stuff on your shirt, and it's okay. And that's politics, right? No matter what it is, whether it's in chiropractic or raw milk or used cars from Japan or something, it's all like that. So the things that work really well at a very fundamental level, let's talk about that first.
Yeah.
There's nobody better on the planet that connects with people than chiropractors, right? So what we do all day long. And so politics at the end of the day, as they say, is always local. And what that means is that the relationship that you, Joe chiropractor or Susie chiropractor, has in your small local political circle is probably the strongest thing that we have in this profession. And it always pushback that I hear from people is like, oh, I don't like politics. I don't want to get involved, whatever. Well, the fact of the matter is that at a very low level, at the state level, is that everybody who's in legislature probably is a small business owner or has worked in that kind of situation in the past or is very sympathetic to the small business owner in their state. And so that is a leverage point that we can use to help build those relationships between us as chiropractors, as small business owners, and starting to get those connections in politics. And I think that is the thing that works really, really well. We just need a lot more of it. The thing that doesn't work well, just like so many other things in our profession, is that at a national level, we can't get our act together and row at the same time to get the boat cruising along in the direction that's going to help us, because everybody thinks their direction is the way we need to go. And so that's what's not working at a big level.
Melba, we got a special guest right now.
I see that.
What's up?
Have you guys ever met?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been a while.
But have you met Melba?
Well, not in person. The reputation definitely precedes.
I mean, with the wig on and stuff, like.
I'm more of a redhead guy, though.
I like
shit!
redheads.
Oh,
all right.
We weren't supposed to get naughty. We're supposed to get political on this one, and of course, like I surprised. I called Melba on Thursday. We got our first sponsor.
Hey, great.
For this podcast, and we'll dive into that later and give them some love, and we'll get some leads for them. But Melba, we're talking about politics. I brought Dr. Glenn Jaffe on because I want to get the state of the union of the political scene in chiropractic. If you had to give your summary of what you think it is, what do you think, Melba, on that side right now?
The
what
political
would you say?
Scene of chiropractic?
Yeah.
You haven't had enough drinking yet, have you?
Well, I definitely think that that's a component that doesn't serve the political aspect of chiropractic, because certainly when people get too intoxicated or inebriated, they don't operate from their frontal lobes and they go left temporal, which we know where it's sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and so not very many productive things happen except for
I'll tell you what,
with sex,
The greatest politician in the world, unfortunately, was that guy from Toronto.
That guy.
That Rob, the big guy who did crack with his constituents. I mean, listen, you go hang out with your people.
Are you talking about JT?
No, the big white guy, he died. Rob Ford, I think was his name, right?
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about him. I think I had to go look him up.
But he got shit done. Who cares if you smoke crack with the ghetto out there in Toronto? Like he hung
Just
with
saying,
the people.
if you want to be
ultimately
though, he wasn't productive. That's why he went down. So I mean, you can only do stupid things for so long and not pay the price for it.
God.
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, listen. All right. Glenn was telling me behind the scenes that like the biggest problem is apathy. and I think let's dive into that. What is it? What is the apathy we see in this profession? And I think it's not apathy. I think they're just broke, and chiropractors don't know how to invest money into politics because they don't know how to run the scene. But tell me what you think.
So I
Glenn.
think you're partially right on that one, Twisty, but I think the apathy is that, it's not a lack of resources, it's a lack of resourcefulness. And you just got to do something, right? And let's just go right at it. If you say that you don't have any money to support politics to help your profession, I think you can find $5 a month to give to something that's going to advance the profession from a legislative or political perspective that's going to eventually trickle down. You got to do something, whether it's $5, $50, $100, $10,000, whatever it is, but everybody's got to chip in and look at politics now. Everybody from an election perspective uses the GoFundMe approach. If we did that, if every single chiropractor gave $5, how much money would we have every month in BAC-PAC or other political action committee coffers to get shit done?
You have this PAC. Tell us about the PAC. What is its goal? What is a PAC? There's 5 chiropractors that I don't even know what a PAC is.
Sure.
Like, we're talking about X-PAC from WWE or what? Like,
no, yeah, that's not. And for those Midwestern people, it's not a sack you go to the grocery store and put your stuff in.
It's called a buggy.
That's something else. But that's what they call them down here in the South, buggies.
They call them carts.
No, so a PAC is an acronym. It says Political Action Committee, and so those of you guys listening that are members of your state association, there's probably a state association linked PAC that you write checks to politicians and that gives you access. Right? PACs don't give you things done. That's not how this works. This isn't The Sopranos where there's a duffel bag with $100 bills in it left at the strip joint.
Maybe it should be.
Maybe it should be. Yeah, that didn't work here in North Carolina a long time ago. I'll tell you that story later. But so a super PAC is a little different, and that's what BAC-PAC is. So BAC-PAC is better access to chiropractic super PAC, and a super PAC works at a federal level, and that's one distinction of a PAC. Another distinction of a super PAC is that it can take unrestricted amounts of money. So if you have $1 million you want to give to us, we'll take it. And it can also be corporate money, which a PAC can only take personal money.
Okay.
And so there's a lot more of leverage that a super PAC can have. And that's why you see all these super PACs putting out these commercials toward the end of the election cycle every 2 and 4 years. They're paid for by the Citizens for Prosperity or whatever.
Essentially we are paying. I mean, I got to cut through the thing. We are paying for what? Relationship, for leverage, access. Because
access to form relationships. Absolutely.
Okay.
Access to form relationships. That's the key right there.
Access to form relation. Okay. So, all right, we're not little children. We understand that there's a game to be played. What is possible if we did get a shitload of money to this PAC? And again, I can already hear the smartest people I know going, you're never going to make everyone happy, but just universally, what could make someone go, okay, I'm down for that. Like, I'm down to no tax on tips or whatever, whatever the fuck Trump's not doing now that I'm pissed off about. Like now I'm starting to think like this is a whole fucking shell game.
He did do that after a certain amount of income.
No, I know he did do that. I'm talking about other shit that's pissing me off. Well, that's for later. What could people get behind? What could chiropractors get behind? And then let's talk about the what matters more, I think, is the people, the businesses, our patients. But let's talk about chiropractors first. What could they get behind that you guys are behind, and with the right amount of money, get us that relationship to change shit?
So it's kind of a thread that we have to run the needle through, and it's a little bit of a long story. So Medicare, when policy is set, it trickles down through everything in healthcare. And as chiropractors, unfortunately, like it or not, we are affected by Medicare policy. And we all know that they only pay for 3 codes right now. And it's been that way since the 70s. And whether you think that the story is that we sold the farm in order to get through Medicare, or we didn't know we were doing, whatever it was, that's where we are. The thing is that if we can get Medicare to change how they view chiropractic and what they pay for, we'll get to that. If we can change what Medicare pays for, that will change how society looks at chiropractic, because there will be much broader access and acceptance to chiropractic. Like it or not, 80% of the people out there that have health insurance want to use it, and that includes Medicare. And if so, we are difficult to get to because of barriers that we don't have a lot of control over. That's going to keep people out of our offices.
And the people that need us the most are in fucking Medicare. I'm so sick of docs that say, I don't want to work with Medicare patient. Yes. Fuck you.
Yes. I mean, gosh, you got 65 years of crap on your nervous system.
Yeah.
You absolutely need to be adjusted.
Okay. So we can change. How can, all right, keep walking down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really boring, but it's super important to understand because this is how the stuff gets done. And people look at it and it's like, oh, it's so boring, I don't care, and the apathy kicks in. So if we can change how Medicare views us as chiropractors and starts to look by basically paying us for more things that we're allowed to do in our scopes, that's going to basically anoint us to the public saying, hey, these guys are more legit than they even are now. And they remove barriers to access, and that trickles down through the third-party payers. It raises the value of what we do,
Right.
and then cash practices can charge more for what they're supposed to be doing and what they're worth than charging for what they think people can pay to come see them.
So how is the
All right.
And
Super
that's how you
PAC
change the
using the
value
money
proposition.
to get the relationships?
So great question. So I'll give you the example. We last election cycle identified a pro-chiropractic candidate in the Virginia 2nd Congressional District. She has shown us that
What's her name? What's her name?
Jen Kiggins, Kiggans. She's a Navy veteran, and she was running for her first reelection. She's the chair of the House Veteran Affairs Committee, which is a very powerful spot to help us because she has done a lot to try and fix some of the problems with the VA and chiropractic referrals. She's also a Medicare modernization bill sponsor. And so I'm not advocating that that's the bill that we need to run behind. However, her actions show us that she is a chiropractic champion. She's pro-chiropractic. So we identified her. We raised enough money to create a 30-second ad that we ran for a week before the election, and she was supposed to win by 2 percentage points. She ended up winning by 4. So we like to say that BAC-PAC helped her double her win margin, and she won re-election.
And do you
Yeah.
guys
So
have
we
a
were
direct
successful.
line of communication with this person? You are actively working together all the time to try to
Yep.
change the legislation?
Yeah, we have connections through different state association leadership and in Virginia and other people into both her congressional office, but also into the campaign. Now, that's a good distinction. Super PACs cannot coordinate with candidates, but we can help build relationships for the profession. So there are other people out there doing the gripping and grinning, if you will, but it shows them that we are interested in them. It's kind of like courting.
Is this Super
Got it.
PAC only in your state, or is it a nationwide Super PAC?
No, it's a federal thing. So it's the Chiropractic Future Strategic Plan, and it's one of the arms and one of the tools in the toolbox. And I'm the chairman of the work group for BAC-PAC. And if you
So
want, we can put the link to the video that we created, and you can send it out in the notes.
yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. What about the people? Because I think that's where the chiropractors, we fuck up everything because it's about like the infighting, like we're seeing with like the stupid fucking what's that one that Tullius and McCoy and those guys put together now, the foot, like that's, you know,
IFCO?
no, the other one after the IFCO that's still in the same fucking post box that they send. Like everything's always send money to this, but nothing ever gets done.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, why don't those organizations, why do you think, like, why is this more important? Is this more important than ICA, ACA, IFCO? Like, is this like, are we wasting our time with these other organizations, and should we just be focused on giving money to politicians?
It's a great
I
question.
think the answer is yes, we should just be focused on giving money to politicians. And ultimately, in some way, I think each of these organizations do that. And I guess it's a.
But I've never heard any of them. I don't even know. You know, you tell me,
So
Glenn.
that's
You have a better, yeah.
That's a great point, Tristan. Is that there is a differentiation between what BAC-PAC does and what the ACA and the ICA do from their PACs. Again, I'll go back to the differentiation. The ACA has a PAC. I think the ICA has one, but they can give the money directly to the candidate's campaign. We cannot, but we have a different scope. So we don't compete. And that's kind of a misconception out there that BAC-PAC is competing with the ACA or the ICA. I think in Dr. Jaffe's fantasy land, the BAC-PAC purpose should be used in collaboration and cooperation with the other national entities to try and get stuff done. Again, we keep grabbing the oars and we keep rowing at different speeds. We're never going to get the boat where it needs to go.
Is it because we're missing, you know, and maybe this is you, and I think like it's a big bite to chew off of, but does the face of chiropractic is there there's faces in other industries, I think, that represent, you know, where we're going. So tell me, is it we need a face for this? or we just need a brand? I mean, how do we fight the apathy of the chiropractors? And I want to come back to the people.
So I think that's a great question.
That's a great
Melba's got
question. I
an
don't know
answer.
if anybody.
I don't
Apathy is a
think one
tough thing to
person.
fight because that's like the worst emotion. That's the lowest emotion, right? And apathy happens after a whole lot of downfall, so apathy is a very strong word.
I think it's also learned
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
in this profession
Yeah,
because
totally.
I mean, if you get the Eeyores together and you get some new docs and they start hanging out with the Eeyores, you're going to get more Eeyores.
Yeah. And we've never had I mean, I have a feeling that if anyone knows this, what has been our best outcome of political relationships in what is the best thing that's ever happened to us in chiropractic?
Maha.
Do you have what?
Maha, period.
Maha?
This moment right now is the
Okay.
best thing that could have ever happened for chiropractors.
So
But it's still a work in progress. So
Of
we
course
can't
it is,
really
but
we can't really measure it yet. But yes, it's
no, but
tracking in the way that
it's
we
all
want it to.
about it's all about money
Relationship.
that creates opportunity to build relationships, and I can certainly speak firsthand that, money created relationships between my husband and Robert Kennedy Jr. or Bobby Kennedy, right? So it's like that thing has slowly grown over the time, and you get into the bigger influencers of it all, that's when you start to really change structure. And I keep telling them we got to get to Dr. Oz if we really want to change Medicaid, Medicare. He's the guy that's actually in charge of that. I realize that he's under HHS, but he's in charge of all that stuff. He's the guy that we need to try to get a hold of. That's the thing that the public has to get around. Fund us to frickin' touch this person. Let's do some fundraiser that touches this guy. And then you start to just slowly build those relationships. I can tell you, my husband started years ago at CalJam for the Children's Health Defense, right? The Children's Health Defense Fund. Probably the first time that RFK Jr. was ever on the stage. So it does take time, and you have to have some foresight into it as well, I think. But even me,
well,
like
what
I'm here in Georgia. I want to get there's something I want to do here that I need to know the governor for, and everybody's just like, well, you need to donate to his campaign. And I'm like, no, I want to be more grassroots, but it doesn't work that way.
well,
That's the thing. I think the people don't understand is how the sausage is made. That is the truth. That's the game that we have to play.
so what's the connection back to B2B and people, consumers? And again, that's where it should matter to most. As I was saying before, the foundation for whatever and the IFCO and this, it's like, and the ICA and DE and all these guys fight, but they're fighting about their own
Are you
internal
saying the
belief
consumer is
systems
the
instead.
chiropractor or the consumer as the
No, the
population?
consumer is the patient. And there's nothing that I ever see that really says, well, what the fuck did they say? Do they care? The consumer public. So bridge this back to me about where it's more important, the people. And I heard veterans in there, so I think that's important.
It
So
comes to access.
keep
And when we
yeah.
get more money, we get more access. They get more access, right? Like,
Is that true, Glenn? Is
Yeah.
that where this
because
is
the thing
going?
too
Okay.
about Medicare, and you
Yeah.
obviously don't know this, is that like chiropractors, we can't charge for the initial exam. We can't discount it either, right? So sometimes that's a barrier of entry for some people, but medical doctors get that service, they get that fee covered all the time. So we're talking about basic like line item for line item objects to
So
get treated fairly for.
Glenn, make the pitch to the chiros listening to this to say, forget about your own ego. Forget
Mhm.
about what you might know, might not know, your inertia versus your ignorance. Here's what you need to know about why it matters for your people, because that's why you're in
Right.
business, right?
So
Make the pitch for that.
so putting aside your own biases and your own preferences, if your goal in your practice is to serve your community at the highest level you can and to serve as many people as you can at that high level, then you should be interested in participating in any kind of thought or activity that would reduce or remove barriers to get more people in front of you so you can continue to work toward your goal.
Preach.
Okay.
And
Reach.
sometimes it's not a direct, turn the page and there's the answer. Like you said, it takes time and repetition. It's just like healing. Why is this process so hard for chiropractors to understand? We get it that it takes 32 visits to get people well, but we expect that relationship and that build to happen tomorrow when you just meet the guy. It
Yeah.
doesn't work that way.
Not in that hierarchy
Yeah.
of government, not at all.
No, absolutely not.
All right.
So let me add
All
one
right. Now,
last thing, because I think the other thing that helps too. I mean, yes, access matters. Yes, getting more people in the door and compelling that, how does that help people? But also equally giving, when we're talking about equal billing, we also have to have the equal right to be able to opt out. Because in the end, what all of that does as a cohesive thing is it creates the harmony, right? And when you create more happiness, fun, harmony, like that energy, like basically goes out into the air. So imagine all these chiropractors that didn't feel like they had to be shackled. If they chose to take this thing, that's great. But if they don't, they should be able to be like, yeah, I don't do that, and be okay with it without feeling like they're like breaking the law or something.
Glenn, you were talking about that earlier. You said more on that later. So
Yeah, let's
when
talk
Melody
about
Yeah,
it.
said opt out, so
and
can we opt out?
no, you can't opt out right now. Chiropractors are one of very few physician level providers that do not have that ability. I
Who are
believe
the other
optometrists.
ones that can't opt out? Do you know?
Optometrists, I think, cannot opt out. But there actually is a bill that was brought to Congress separate from the Medicare modernization bill that is supposed to allow anybody who's not allowed to opt out of Medicare as a provider to give them that option. So it's completely separate. I don't believe either ACA or ICA actually drove that bill. We were listed in it because in the statutes we're listed as ones that cannot opt out. So if that
That'd be
bill goes
awesome.
through, then it's not even an issue anymore, which is an interesting conundrum. Sometimes this is how politics happens. Sometimes things fall in your lap and you don't expect. Sometimes they're disasters. Sometimes they're gifts, and this could be a gift.
So who should give us some places to follow. Obviously you and you have a great newsletter, Substack, and not only did you talk about politics, you talk about practice growth and mindset and all the things in between of growing personally and professionally. Give us the scope of where they should be following and who else they should be listening to. Who are some other voices that are relevant, that will help cut through the noise?
So, if you want to follow BAC-PAC, we're all over social media. Better Access to Chiropractic which again is part of the broader Chiropractic Future Strategic Plan, which is over 150 volunteers from across the profession that are working hard for every single chiropractor and patient out there. So those are going to be two great places to go and follow, and we can put those links in
I got
the notes. I think one person that everybody should be listening to, if you're not already, is Baron Hoig in One Chiropractic. He's doing some amazing work on a lot of different fronts, veterans, with Medicare, with animal chiropractic. He did a lot of work to help chiropractors that were unjustly crucified during the pandemic. He has got some great connections. He's got a lot of great things to say. And so I would put him out there as someone to listen to as well. He's a good one.
And talk about what your newsletter and what you write and a little bit more about who you are besides the politics scene.
Sure. So I write under my Substack post is called Chiropractic Culture and the Climb. And the goal of it is to elevate the profession in different areas that I see need some attention. And some of them are very specific, down the weeds. Some of them are big picture, high level leadership type of things. And I draw on my experience of practice over 23 years and spent 11 years on the board of the state association, including as president. I'm a Chiro Congress board of directors. I'm chairman of BAC-PAC. I've been our legislative chairman here in North Carolina since 2018. So I want to share my experiences and my perspective, and I want to draw attention to things that need attention. I want to say things that need to be said out loud, and I want to do it in a way that invokes curiosity, conversation, and growth. I'm not here to light the fire and drop the match and walk back and watch everything burn down. I want this profession to achieve what its potential really is, and I feel like I'm called to do that because I've been around long enough where I feel like I can take my filter off my face now and start saying the things that need to be said.
I like that. You were to tell a story about maybe some mobbed up shit in North Carolina. Was there a story there?
Man, so back before I got to North Carolina, this is totally terrible, but it's what happened. So there was the Speaker of the House here was friends with some chiropractors, and there was this bill that was supposed to get passed, and there was literally some money in the men's room at the Capitol Grill.
Nice.
And he ended up going to jail, and yeah, it was before I got here, but it was totally like, what are you doing? Like I started learning about this stuff. I'm like, seriously?
Melby, you got any old school chiropolitics, like hit back door kind of shit from?
I mean, I'm just kind of going back to what we talked about earlier. You know, you pay for your relationship.
Yeah. Um.
Enough, no offense, to have any backdoor shenanigans like that in politics in my database. I heard about some pretty
Uh.
parties. I've heard about some big ass parties from back in the day, like when Parker was like in its early stages in Vegas.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That would have been the shit, man.
Yeah, apparently
Well,
Yeah,
they
you
would.
can't do that stuff with social media anymore. There's no way. You social media and cell phones with cameras, forget it.
You're right.
what you're coaching now too.
Yeah.
Talk about who you help, who you love to help, who you love to serve, and what you think your superpowers are in that world.
So one of the things I've noticed in my career is that while systems really work great, sometimes you need a perspective to step back and look at what you're actually doing and try and filter the noise and fine tune the things that are working and improve the things that are working. And not so much from a here, do this my way thing, but hey, let's look and see what you're doing. What do you enjoy doing? What's not working? Why are you resisting this? And more in a consultative perspective, and just improve overall, make things better, and accelerate that process of growing and learning as a leader in your practice, or as a board member of your state association, or really anything, and anywhere that you've got systems in place. You always have the problem of being stuck in your own fishbowl, and you need to get outside of that to get that perspective to see what's grander out there, or what you're doing that maybe is obsolete or isn't really working, but you think it is because of your perspective. And that's really what I enjoy, is getting in and looking and seeing what you're doing, finding out what's not working, and jumping in on what we can do to make that change.
If you had to say one thing to focus on in 2026 to grow personally or professionally or both, what would you tell a chiropractor today listening to this that they should put some attention to in 2026?
I would this sounds really unspecific, but you got to find the things that you are really passionate about, that you really love to do.
Yeah.
Honestly, you got to answer that question honestly, and focus so much more energy on those things, because if you can get yourself in a better place energetically and emotionally, and you're happy with whatever you're doing, that will spill into every other part of your life. And it's time that we get past this burnout mentality, this hustle culture kind of stuff, and get back to finding joy in what we do, because we're only here for so long. And let's make it count. Let's have fun with it. Let's make it meaningful. But there's no point in running around like a crazy person.
I was talking about this with Pete today. Um, there's also something about always being on, and that you're not actually full tilt on anything anyways, so you're fucking half-assing it anyways, right? Like, I know a lot of docs that are like on all the time, and they're like, they'll get a message from their team that they have to refund $40, and because they're losing money, they'll spend a half an hour to an hour talking back to their team at 7:30 at night when they should be with their family or off and they're bitching and complaining about a system of $40 when it's like, just get the fucking $40 back, shut the fuck up, and move on with your life. Like, but why do you think, dudes and dudettes struggle so much with fucking compartmentalization with that between life and business?
I think it's a money mindset. It's a scarcity versus abundance thing. And if
Yeah.
you're worried about losing anything because you don't have this view that there is abundance around you, and it sounds woo-woo, but it's the truth, man. If you have that negative energy and you're worried about losing everything, that's all you're going
Yeah.
to be paying attention to, and you're going to miss so much. It's not worth it. $40, come on.
Yeah.
Give it to BAC-PAC instead. You'll never miss it.
On that note, hey, if you're listening out there, send us, if you support and you go to let me give the website, we'll have it in the notes also as well. I just was there.
Better access to chiropractic.org.
Their easy one. Let us know that you supported it, and we'll match some of your donations on there from the Spiz and Twisted Toast. Since we got a sponsor, we can sell. So hey, on that note, hey, what are your feelings on red light, Glenn? You like it, or you hate it, or what's your theory on red light?
I think those kinds of therapies were fantastic.
Yeah.
They really help accelerate healing.
We got a new sponsor. I'm not going to name names until next week, because I'm going to tell listeners out there that if you are listening and you want to get the best credit to go through your new year with our new partner, which we're creating the website myredlightspecial.com. This is a red light special.
I'll give you
Is this
the
like a blue light
red
special from Kmart?
light special.
No, it's the red light. You don't know red lights. There you go. It's red light special is the hooker special. So
Oh, that red light.
yeah, if you want to get $3,500 off a red light unit that's going to blow everyone away, you got to hit us up, connect with us, and we'll get you that. Go to myredlightspecial.com and we'll get you sorted out. Hey, Glenn, I know you got a few minutes left. We're going to go into some fun stuff.
Let's do it.
This weekend, I watched a documentary on the death of the TV theme song.
Oh,
The rise and the fall, and also correlated with the death of the jingle. I want to ask each one of you, what was your favorite TV theme song, and what was your favorite jingle growing up?
I would say the Fall Guy, but I couldn't sing it to you today.
The Fall Guy. What was that?
that's a good one.
What is the Fall Guy?
The best jingle?
Jingles, man. Gosh, they were, I don't know. I can't remember specifically, but there's so many like on local sports radio that you'd always hear, but like in between innings on baseball or whatever.
Yeah. The local ones were actually really like, it's so amazing to me that in those 80s and the 80s era, like how many local, like we had when I was growing up, we had a Camillus Mall, and it was the jingle was going shopping at Camillus Mall, things are popping at Camillus, and I just remember that song all in my head. And then there was a photo. There was I used to crack my mom up late night when we watched this. This commercial always on was late night. It was Industrial Color Labs, and there was like Industrial Color Labs. It's so good, like local great jingles. But all right, I'm gonna spark you
That's
guys.
a tough question.
All
I'm
right.
sitting here trying to remember one.
My favorite jingle is Mentos Freshness, which Mentos Freshness, like come on, it's
Plop,
like
plop,
so
fizz,
90s.
fizz. Oh wait, that's
That's a
Okay.
good one.
that's not Mentos, but it could be.
I gotta go tie for theme song is Full House and Growing Pains.
Yeah,
Like those are bangers.
it's good. I was more of a Night Rider.
Oh, I love Knight
18.
Rider.
18 was good.
But I think
Greatest
it's
American
gotta be
Hero.
like the Cheers song actually tracked in radio play, like
Right.
Friends tracked. Is there anything that you would listen to on your Spotify that you might be embarrassed
Fall
to hear if
Guy.
the other
Somebody
cars?
played it the other day on the radio. They're like, "Yeah, the Fall Guy."
What
Well,
is the Fall Guy?
It's like
Okay, gosh.
I don't remember.
This
I was
is-
like in preschool, dude. I just remember that I
TV
loved it and I knew
show?
all the words of the song.
It was about the stunt
yeah, the
guy,
stunt guy,
right? He
because
was a
Ryan
stunt
Gosling
guy.
was just in a movie remake of it.
Wow.
I didn't even know that was
Just
a
meaning
remake.
like last year.
I think for me, the theme song, it's not from a TV show. It's from the Olympics. Like with the trumpet and the drums. And whenever I hear that, whenever I would hear that as a kid, I was like, oh, this is, like, I don't know. I get like the goosebumps. It's kind of weird. The Olympics.
So the Fall Guy, I was just listening to a little blurb of it. It goes back to the arc that was like 70s, right? Then Melba on that one is that
And
is that
late
early
70s, I guess, early 80s, probably.
Yeah, so that has that country folk kind of overlay of it, and that was how so TV theme songs started with TV commercial jingles. They were kind of intertwined in the 50s, and then you saw the arc of first of all, here's what happened. TV got greedy, so they're like, let's cut out theme songs so we have more time to sell ads. And so and then people watching how they watch is different. They watch streaming, so people skip it. But I miss good old theme songs like bangers like Full House and Growing Pains and Family Ties.
We'll have to make up a theme song for summer camp.
Dukes of Hazzard.
So that's what I want to ask you guys. This goes back to theme songs and jingles. Do you think you're missing out not having a jingle for your practice? Does the PAC need a jingle?
It's like a tagline, but a single. I mean, it's all about being memorable, right? So if that helps you be more memorable, then absolutely. If it resonates with you and the vibe you're sending.
That would be interesting. Yeah.
All right.
I could see it.
Well, Glenn, I want to thank you for jamming with us.
Thanks, man.
Is there anything where you're going to be this next year? Where could people see you at live stuff? Are you going to be at Parker again? Or are you going to be going to any other
I'm gonna try and be at Parker. I will definitely be at FCA in Orlando in August. If you've never been to either one of those, you should go to the other one and see the contrast between the two of them. My first Parker was 2 years ago, and it was really interesting to see the difference. So if you're a chiropractor and you've never gone to FCA because you don't think you get anything out, you should
I
come
would go
check it
to
out.
Which one
FCA.
do you? Yeah, I enjoyed FCA. I mean, Parker was my last Parker last year, was the first one in years that I'd been to, and I thought I was going to enemy territory, and it wasn't. And I got to hang out with Rob Kipp the whole weekend, and
I don't think they
try to get
have
him
any chiropractors speaking from their stage, do they?
Where?
At Parker.
Parker?
Yeah, they have a lot
Oh, they
of,
had Heidi Havoc. They had a lot of chiropractors.
maybe one.
I mean,
one
Bill Morgan
chiropractor.
speaking.
Yeah. You know, look, I hit them a lot. I hit them a lot when they were coming up, and I think that they're back, and it's still chiropractic. But the other thing is FCA. I didn't hear any talks in there because it was all spread out. Did you go to any talks at FCA, Glenn?
No, actually, I didn't go to any lectures. This one was a total work for me between Chiro Congress and BAC-PAC, so I didn't.
I'll tell you, the bar scene,
vendor hall.
The bar scene is better at FCA. The bar scene was better there. I got
the bar at the hotel at FCA is nuts.
I finally found a place that I felt like home, and I kept texting my wife because I brought the kids and I kept saying I'll be back in like an hour, and I stayed from like 4 o'clock till whatever 2 in the morning on that last night, and I'm like, she was so pissed at me, but it was worth it. It was worth it.
There's supposed to be some bigger headliners at FCA starting this year. I think they're trying.
Now, you want to go to FCA? You want to go? We could do a live podcast from FCA.
That would be awesome. Fun.
You guys would be rocking it.
We could hijack it and do some cool shit.
It's interesting. I think it's an arms race with FCA's finally seeing they need to try and keep up with Bill over there at Parker with the names.
Well, they and that's I stayed up late night drinking with Robert Kipp. Shout out to Robert Kipp, the MC. And if you guys noticed on Saturday why his voice was kind of shaky and he didn't, it was because of me. I was trying to get him fired, as I try to always do with Robert Kipp. But I said to Robert, I said, as I was drunk, I was like, it's funny how you guys got big names after summer camp. He goes, oh, you totally lit us up there. Like the fact that this motherfucker could get these guys' names. And then I'm like, well, you got nonprofit money. You should be getting fucking big names. They have a great one coming up, but Melba and I can talk.
I think one of the big things you have to think about though, with whatever you're going to go to, is you have to think about, I can't believe I'm going to say
it, Melba.
Say. Well, you're talking about like division. I'm going to be like, it almost comes down to what camp are you in? Are you in the camp that utilizes chiropractic first, or are you in the camp that utilizes your chiropractic to do something else?
Do you feel like that's the same question of us supporting Israel? No,
I don't even understand any of that stuff, Glenn, dude. I can't even. I read it. I know you gotta go, Glenn. I'm just still trying to wrap my head about what all the fighting is about there, which I kind of get it and I kind of don't. But anyway,
as Glenn goes, I'll explain it for you. Then I'll explain what the fucking problem with us supporting Israel is. That's America first, right? But by the way, Glenn, thank you for jamming with us.
Yourself first in the plane. I mean, you got to help yourself before you can help anybody else. I hate to say it.
Which mask, though, Melba?
Which mask? The one that has the oxygen.
Oh, I was talking the COVID mask.
No, we're on an airplane, yo. We're on an airplane.
But okay. Glenn, thanks for jamming with us.
Thanks,
we'll call this an episode. Hey, if you're looking for a red light,
wait, don't end yet. I have to say something. I have to make a point.
Wait, Glenn, we're gonna kick you out.
I'm sorry.
We'll kick you out, and me and Melbourne and keep going. Then
no, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
He's got to go though. He's got to go.
Bye.
Sorry. Thanks for coming.
It's okay. All right, go.
That just derailed me. I'm sorry. I didn't realize he had to go. Now I feel like I was really rude.
You weren't.
What's that?
You weren't.
Okay,
rude.
good thing. I thought you said it was.
No.
Oh my God. People can't.
Look, I was against. When I started Chiro Sushi, we were the whole idea of Chiro Sushi
Here's
was.
what it is. Here, wait. Let me. Here's the thing with people in camps is that, if we're going to talk about the Maha thing, right? And there have been other chiropractors that are in on this movement, talking to the big wigs up at the top, and it's been Dan Pompa and it's also been Josh Axe, right? But we also have to look at what is it that they mostly do, and they focus on the nutrition aspect of what chiropractors have to offer, right? And
Because chiropractic is everything.
exactly. I mean, that's okay. I'm not
I know.
dogging them. I think it's
I know you are.
I think
Yeah.
nutrition is absolutely a part of the things that we are capable of helping people with. And if people are more passionate to Glenn's point there, like let it be that. But you know, we also need a chiropractic warrior that is speaking chiropractic that gets on these things too. And that's certainly what
Yeah.
my husband has been doing to share that chiropractic, to share the chiropractic story. Dare I say, they always say,
I
oh, we
think
just
people
got to
should get
share
to
the
Live
story. But
Vision. I think Live Vision is one of the best seminar. And I've yet to go there because, you know, I only have one experience at Life, and that was before I think your husband was out there. But I mean, I did an interview with who's the guy who does the negotiation stuff? God, what's his name? Fuck. What happens on Mondays to my brain is crazy. Chris Voss, Never Negotiate, or what's his book called? Never Split the Difference. And you know, I was I got escorted off campus while I was doing that podcast. So, but that was, you know, I don't, you know, it was before certain people got there, and there was certain, you know, um, but hey, I don't donate money to Life. I should probably don't. I mean, if you want
you
to, this goes back to what
should.
we're talking about.
They could
If
name
you
a
want
room
to get
after you if
involved,
you want.
dude, imagine if they had a twisty room at a
Dude,
campus.
you could
That would fucking be awesome.
sponsor a room somewhere.
How much do you think it would cost to get a room?
I could tell you, but I think that I should refer you to somebody to have that conversation. Because I don't actually really know
I
the answer to that, but I know that's a
I now want a
possibility.
room. I
I
now
know
want
that's
a
or you
fucking
could have a whole
room.
building if you wanted. It depends on how much you want to donate.
I think once we sell chiropractic results in 5 years, I could get a building.
Hey,
But
I
I could
mean,
definitely do a room right now. I probably could do a room. Let's get Twisty a room. Okay. On that note, what do you Christmas, what's Christmas looking like coming up? What are you guys doing for the holidays?
Chicago. How about you?
You're going to Chicago for how
That's
long?
23rd through 27th. That's where Gilles' oldest son lives.
Okay. Cool. We're gonna stay home in Indianapolis. Um and the kids are gonna go trash the presents for an hour, and then their dad's gonna come get them, and probably me and Kat will sit on the couch and watch Stranger Things, and I'll zone out for the first time in, you know, a couple of weeks,
Oh,
you know,
good for
since
you.
Mexico.
It's good to
Yeah.
turn the brain off.
It is. I mean, we were just talking about that. I really think that, like, I wrote about that this week too, about being detached from the outcome. Ironically, creating chiropractic results has led me to be detached from outcomes so much that, like, I'm just enjoying the time. And I encourage everyone who's out there to look back on this year as not just a, what did I win? What did I grow? I did that myself. We grew 15%. And I had moments this year where I was like, well, it's not doubling up like I did every year. And I'm like, but I'm happier. And I think that's what matters most. So I want everyone to kind of look at themselves and go, are you happier than you were before? And that's what fucking really matters. I'm fucking happy.
The
I
three
mean,
things I
I got
always wish for are happiness, love, and success.
happiness, love,
In
and
that order.
success. You can't wish for anything more than that. Well, I wish you happiness, love, and success in Chicago for Christmas. I wish all
You
you
as
listening
well.
happiness, love, and success. We will see you next time. Are we going to meet on Monday? Or are you taking that time off? I don't even know. I'm not taking that
I'm
time off.
here.
So,
I'm
all
good.
right. You guys, if you want to get a $3,500 credit for a badass red light, you hit us up and we'll get you connected on that. Thanks.
Peace.